Beneath the vast green canopy, the forest trembles with the weight of giants. Not predators of claw or fang, but colossal apes, towering over Australopithecus, their shadows spilling across the undergrowth like living storms. What if survival was not about outrunning lions or resisting droughts, but about existing under the gaze of creatures 10 times your strength, rulers of a kingdom of trees? Could fragile early humans carve out a life in forests where every branch might conceal a threat, and every fallen fruit might be claimed by hands far larger and stronger than their own? This is the story of survival 6.5 million years ago. The forest floor rustles with the movement of a band of Australopithecus. Their bodies are lean, their arms strong, their senses sharpened by necessity. They move in silence, picking through fallen figs and stripping fibrous leaves, always alert. Children cling to the backs of their mothers, eyes darting upward at the sound of cracking branches. Above them, colossal silhouettes move. Giant apes, some as large as gorillas, yet heavier, swing and climb effortlessly, their deep-chested roars echoing through the treetops. Each step of the smaller hominins must be measured. Each action weighed forage too boldly, and they risk being chased away or worse. The band halts near a patch of fruit-laden trees. Hunger gnaws at their bellies. A male steps forward, lifting a sharp stone flake chipped earlier by the river. His role is not to fight the apes, they could not win such a battle, but to guard the group as they scramble for fruit. With quick, precise movements, they gather what they can, stuffing figs into woven leaf pouches. But the tension rises high above. A giant ape notices. Its massive arms shake the branches, showering the forest with debris. The hominins scatter back, clutching their prizes, their small victory fragile in the shadow of titans. As they retreat deeper into the forest, another threat emerges, not from the canopy, but from the ground itself. A rival band of Australopithecus blocks their path, eyes burning with desperation. Hunger is universal, and food is scarce in these contested groves. The two groups face each other crouched low, gripping stone flakes and sticks hardened in fire. The air is thick with unspoken menace. A sudden cry from a child fractures the silence, and both sides lunge forward in a brief but ferocious clash. Dust rises, stones fly, and shrieks echo. When it ends, bruised bodies withdraw, and the victors claim the fruit. But survival is never permanent. That night, under a shroud of rain and lightning, the forest itself seems to rage. Thunder shakes the canopy, rivers swell, and the apes retreat higher into the trees. The Australopithecus, huddled together in a hollow beneath fallen logs, sharing soaked leaves and stolen fruit, their bodies trembling not just from the storm, but from the knowledge that tomorrow the struggle begins again. Yet within this fragile circle, warmth lingers. A mother rocks her child. An elder shares herbs crushed into a healing paste for wounds. In that moment, under the roar of the storm, they are not prey nor trespassers, but a tribe small, fragile, yet unbroken. At dawn, the forest breathes again. Mist clings to the branches, dripping into pools that reflect the green world above. The Australopithecus emerge from their shelter exhausted yet alive, their bodies still damp from the night storm. Hunger, relentless as ever, drives them onward. They move cautiously, weaving through ferns and roots, guided by instinct and memory. Ahead lies a river swollen from the rain, its surface broken by drifting logs and flashes of fish below. Water means life, but it also means danger. Crocodiles lurk, and giant apes often descend to drink here, their size ensuring dominance over all others. The band gathers at the edge, scanning both water and tree line. A female kneels and dips a folded leaf, lifting precious water to a child's mouth. Others search for edible roots, prying them from the mud with sticks. But the piece is fragile. A ripple spreads across the surface, followed by the silent reptilian eyes of a predator breaking the surface. Panic erupts, screeches pierce the morning air as the group scrambles back from the bank. One young male lingers too long, caught between indecision and hunger. The crocodile lunges, jaws snapping with bone-crushing force. Only a desperate shove from another hominin, wielding a sharpened stick, saves him. The predator thrashes, bloodied but alive, slipping back beneath the river's skin. The tribe retreats into the forest, shaken yet bound by the act of courage. They know that survival requires risk, but also unity. As they move, the sound of the canopy deepens, an ominous drumming of branches. Giant apes are on the move, their roars vibrating like thunder. The Australopithecus freeze, then scatter into the shadows of the undergrowth. Through the gaps in leaves, they watch immense shapes descend. One massive male ape slams its fists into the earth, claiming territory, shaking the ground itself. The hominins cower, eyes wide, hearts racing. Yet they do not flee far. They wait, watching, learning the patterns of their towering overlords. Knowledge is survival's sharpest tool. Later, as the apes drift back into the treetops, the hominins seize their chance. They gather fallen fruit left behind in the chaos, scraps too small for giants, but a feast for their tribe. Stones crack open nuts, sharp flakes slice fibrous roots, and slowly life returns to their fragile circle. But just as relief begins to spread, another conflict emerges. A storm has driven a leopard from the high branches, forcing it onto the ground. The predator prowls silently through the undergrowth, its eyes locked on the weakest, the children at the rear. The band senses it. Urgency replaces hunger. They cluster together, mothers clutching young males, arming themselves with jagged stones and fire-blackened sticks. The leopard lunges, muscles rippling, jaws wide. Chaos explodes. The tribe shrieks and lashes out, stones clattering against fir sticks, stabbing at its flanks. The leopard snarls, swiping with claws that slice through flesh. But the hominin's fury holds. At last, bloodied and frustrated, the beast retreats into the shadows, leaving behind only paw prints and terror. The cost is heavy. One elder lies wounded, gashes across his arm. Yet even here, in blood and fear, survival offers a lesson. The tribe gathers herbs, crushing leaves into paste, pressing them onto the wound. The elder grimaces, but he lives, and the group binds tighter. Around them, the forest looms, giant apes, hidden predators, storms that tear the sky. And yet beneath it all, the fragile thread of human endurance holds fast. Night once again drapes the forest, but this time the band does not cower. Around a small fire kindled from lightning-charred branches, the Australopithecus gather. The flames dance against their faces, painting shadows that flicker like spirits among the trees. They roast roots and chew the fibrous remains of fruit, sharing in silence the rare comfort of warmth and light. Overhead, giant apes shift restlessly, their silhouettes barely visible against the stars, but they do not descend. For one night, the balance tilts toward the fragile tribe. At dawn, the final trial arrives. Driven by hunger deeper than before, the band dares to venture into a grove heavy with fruit, knowing the giants will not tolerate trespass. They move swiftly, gathering what they can, their stone flakes glinting in the morning sun. But the warning comes too late. A colossal ape crashes down, bellowing with rage. It charges its strength and unstoppable force. Panic explodes through the tribe. Mothers flee with infants, while young males hurl stones and jab sharpened sticks in desperation. One figure the same who once saved his kin at the river plants his feet and raises his crude weapon. The ape towers above him, a storm of muscle and fury. The clash is brutal, hopeless in scale. The hominin is struck, thrown to the ground, but his defiance buys moments, precious seconds, for the others to escape with their gathered food. Roars echo, branches shatter, and at last, the ape, satisfied in its dominance, retreats back into the canopy. The young male lies battered, breathing shallowly, his tribe clustering around him with grief etched in their faces. Yet when he opens his eyes still alive, a ripple of relief surges through them. He is carried on their shoulders, his wounds bound with herbs, his survival a testament to their resilience. As evening falls, the band gathers once more perched on a ridge overlooking the forest. They share the stolen fruit, passing it hand to hand, their laughter muted but real. Children chase fireflies, elders murmur in low rhythms, and for a moment, the weight of giants above them is forgotten. The forest remains a realm of titans, apes, leopards, crocodiles, but within it, a smaller story unfolds of unity, of defiance, of a fragile species refusing to vanish. Here in the shadows of giants, the first whispers of humanity are born, not in strength, not in size, but in the courage to endure together. And as the fire burns against the night, the Australopithecus prove that even in a world not made for them, survival can become legend.